Hi everyone, welcome to February's video. I wanted to have this video ready for you guys, and here we are. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. This video is going to be about how I've been cultivating my creativity for the last couple of months or years, and what I'm doing differently this year to get me more focused. To start out, we first need to figure out what is the definition of cultivating. According to Oxford Languages, cultivating is to prepare and use land for crops or gardening, and to try to acquire, develop a quality, sentiment, or skill. To cultivate your creativity is you have to prepare everything and to be able to develop or get this artistic skill that you want. One of the things that I've been doing for years in order to have and cultivate creativity is to build a morning routine. What I usually do is I do some self-care. I make myself a hot cup of tea, set up some soft background morning music, have my journals, my sketchbooks, my notebooks, whatever, my planners out and ready for me to start working on something and brainstorming. And it helps me have some time for myself from being distracted, from being bombarded with others people's voices or messages or words, and I can just focus only on my thoughts and what I need to do in order to keep that creativity flowing. Through these morning sessions that I have, or even sometimes night or afternoon sessions, I do some organization. I have a content planner that I created. In this planner, it's basically in a binder. I brainstorm ideas, scripting, blogging, writing, whatever, anything that I need in order to create my content. I write down all that needs to be done for videos, for the blog. I also have a content calendar. I don't follow it to the T yet because I'm still getting used to being more organized through paper. I also been using my focal point planner to help me put some of those specific items in the content planning schedule because they kind of go together, both my blogging and also my journey into being an artist. So that specific focal point planner, I would say I look at it first and then I look at my content schedule planner. When I was cleaning out my supplies earlier last month, I noticed that there was a lot of pencils and markers and whatnot that were not being used, and I decided to also repurpose a lot of my workbooks or planners that I had in the past and made one of them a swatching planner so I can swatch all of the supplies that I have, since I kind of inventoried everything and I don't want anything to go to waste. And I also don't like to collect things unless they're books. And if I've already used a planner or a workbook and I didn't really complete it, I feel like those type of books have a really good repurposing. So I ended up making a swatch planner with all of my supplies to be swatched, including papers. Also, I created an art journal to kind of experiment with different designs or different art that I see. And my way is to imitate a lot of artists. That's really what that planner is going to be for, just to get my creative juices flowing. And the other thing that I decided to do was create a scrapbook in one of the planners for my children and I. I wanted to actually have a place where we can all gather photos of things that we like or things about us, because my kids are growing so fast and I want to make sure that I have something to show for them. Digital stuff doesn't stay with you, but analog stuff, paper things, tangible things do. As I started creating these scrapbooks or art journals or whatnot. And then one of the things that I've noticed in my challenges with creating things and why I lack being consistent with art is that I don't have creative prompts. Creative prompts give you a start, a head start. That's something that I needed, and I never knew I needed it until I actually started doing it. Pinterest comes out with a trend forecast every single year. Prompts are really, really good. So I decided to just write them down in little pieces of paper and put them in this little unused bucket that I have, or container. And every time I need to draw something, I just pick something from there. Even if I don't agree with what the prompt is, I have to do it. So I also started looking through Cosmos. Cosmos helps me to build some kind of prompts of like right now I'm going to use it for value studies. There's a lot of great photographers and designers that have their artwork on there that I feel like, oh, this is a great study session for me to get used to study values and also perspectives and color design. The other place that I got introduced to by another blogger here on YouTube is public domain archives. There you can get art from public domains and you can use it for commercial or personal use. One last place where you can look at for prompts is your books. Yeah, I have a lot of art books. I don't know if you do, but if you get some art books, most art books will give you prompts. It'll give you exercises or prompts or activities that you can do. So you can actually follow those as well. I have yet to put some of those in my activity jar, as I call it, or my prompt jar, so I can get started on those things to get me to do something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna wait for inspiration to kick in, and it usually doesn't, especially when I am tired. One last thing I wanted to remind you guys is to, even if after you're doing all of your drawing, all of your sketching, just know that at the end of the day, creating artwork or creating anything is work. And more importantly is to always take time away from your work. I know people say like finish what you started. I agree with that because I'm also on that journey. However, I also agree with you need to take some time away because it's work. It is hard work. It's a skill. It's a craft that you're making. And I didn't realize this because now that I've been working from home more often, I noticed that I've been cooped up and I'm a homebody and I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to do my work and get it over with and spend time with my family. And I forget to go out. I forget to have like dinners and lunches outside of my home or go explore libraries or art museums or parks and whatnot. And being away from the home last earlier this month, it made me realize, okay, I need to get out a little bit more. And maybe that will give me more inspiration and it'll give me more fuel to get excited about what I'm going to create. So before we end this video, I wanted to read to you a blessing that I found from the writer John O'Donohue. He has this wonderful book of blessings. I believe it's called The Space Between Us, or Blessings for the Space Between Us, I believe. I'm going to put a picture of the book on here. And I found a blessing for artists, how we get started about our day to be creative. I think it's such a beautiful blessing, and I feel like this is something that I want to share with y'all. I always believe that we should always share words of wisdom with each other to help us keep going and continue in any of our journeys in our lives, especially our creative and artistic journey. So let's read this beautiful blessing, and I hope it helps you as well.
For the Artist at the Start of Day by John O'Donohue. May morning be astir with the harvest of night, your mind quickening to the arrows of any question, your eyes seduced by some unintended glimpse that cut right through the surface to a source. May this be a morning of innocent beginning, when the gift within you slips clear of the sticky web of the personal with its hurt and its hauntings, in fixed fortress corners, a morning when you become a pure vessel for what wants to ascend from silence. May your imagination know the grace of perfect danger, to reach beyond imitation in the wheel of repetition, deep into the call of all the unfinished and unsolved, until the veil of the unknown yields and something original begins to stir toward your senses and grow stronger in your heart, in order to come to birth in a clean line or form that claims from time a rhythm not yet heard, that calls space to a different shape. May it be its own force field and dwell uniquely between the heart and the light, to surprise the hungry eye by how deftly it fits about its secret loss.
I hope you enjoyed my rendition or my voice for this beautiful blessing that was created by John O'Donohue. And it's such a beautiful thing to be able to understand that as an artist, you are creating something that's never existed. And even if you are an artist that right now is kind of imitating other artists, trying to figure out what you are, I think that's okay. You're playing with something that's already been there before you. And then eventually you're going to make something on your own that has never been created. So don't give up. Continue. Let's continue, because I also, whatever I tell you is something that I also talk to myself about. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day or night or morning. Bye, y'all.